No, right? Exactly, Jordan. So exactly, long. No, no, right? So what do we need to change here? If we change this to a right outer join, natural right join, would that work? Would we now get customers, right? We would now get customers without any loans, right? Exactly. So that is the difference between a left join and a right join, right? So we just say what values we always want and then perform the join operation. So the left join says we want the values from the left table always. The right join says we want the right table always. And the full join says we want all tables whether you have values or not. We want all values from all tables. Right? Okay. Then we also talked about the rename operation. Remember that rename operations, we have seen rename operations, right? For example, whenever we say something as from branch B or from loan L, these are all rename operations, right? These exist only within that query, and these are useful so that we don't have to type it again and again. Just make it short. um, Remember one thing, the rename operation is not the assignment operation. The assignment operation would be similar to, let's say, create temporary table that does this thing, or insert into table from this select operation, right? Those are your assignment operations. That is not your rename operation, because the assignment operation actually creates a separate new table for this thing. So let's take some examples, right? So let's take an example of the schema that is for the auto insurance database. Coming back to the auto insurance thing again. Let's say that we have car that has license, VIN number, make, model, year. Note that license is the primary key. We have the customer, driver ID, and owner, license and driver ID, and insurance claims. So if we want to know, find the names of all customers living in Los Angeles or New York. So whenever we have a question like this, the first thing that we need to do is figure out which tables do we need, right? So in this scenario, we first need to know that we need the customers or customer names or what have you. So where is customer name? Well, I know that it is in the customer table, right? And then, well, that is one, right? Let's have that. And then we say that customers have to live in Los Angeles or New York. So that means that I need the city for that customer. Well, there, where is that? Well, we had name, and we see that the customer city is also in the same table. And that means that we do not need any join operation, right? We just can get this data from this table in itself. So names of all customers living in Los Angeles or New York would be from the customer table. Select all the rows from where city equals to Los Angeles or city equals to New York, and project out the name, right? Okay. Let's look at another example. Now becomes a bit interesting. I want to know the customer name, the street and city of all customers who are Toyota owners. Right now, this is a bit interesting. We want the customer name. Okay, so name is in the customer table. I know that. We want the customer street. Okay, so street is in the customer table as well. That works out. City. Well, that is also here. Fine. But that is not enough. We need to look at the entire query of all Toyota owners. So I need to know the make of the car in order to make sure that I can identify all Toyota owners, right? And where is the make? Well, let me see. Make is in the car table, right? So make is in the car table. So I need the car table, I need the customer table. I need the car table to get all the makes, Toyotas basically from there. I need the customer table for name, street, and city. That pans out, that works out. But can we just use these two tables to get our answer? Is there a way to join car and customer? Do they have any common attributes between them which would allow us to join them or join these two tables? So what would happen if I perform, for example, natural join car and customer? can we perform on what I mean, we can, but what nothing, right? Basically concatenation of two those things that has nothing, because no com. And if it's a left natural join, that's a different matter. But if we perform a true natural join, it results in an empty list, right? Do you guys agree with, I don't know your name, I'm going to call you P852. So do you guys agree with P852 that the resultant table from a natural join between car and customer, your gay? Oh, okay. So do you guys agree with your that the resultant natural join for car and customer would be an empty table? Yes, no, yes, right? So what do we need? We need a way to combine the car and customer. So we need to see where car and customer both are there, or primary keys of car and customers are there. So we have the owner table. Why? Because the owner has the primary key for license, and it has the primary key for driver ID for the customer. And for these two primary keys, the owner contains those details. So we need the owner as well. So now that we have these three tables, basically perform a natural join of those three tables, find the make, that is Toyota, and get me the name, street, and city. Right? So that is how you build up a query given that question, right? First, figure out what we need, then figure out from where do we need these things, and where, from which tables do I need these things. Then it usually ends up between, if there are multiple tables, then it usually ends up being a question about, should it be a natural join, should it be a left natural join. So if there are customers that have a driver ID but don't have a license, basically don't have a car, right? So in that case, I also maybe want the customer name and street. Well, not for Toyota owners, obviously, but we might want to count all the customers that have that many cars. So that also comes up if we are performing a left join or a right join. Okay. Third example, let's see. This is an interesting one. Let's talk about aggregates. So how many claims does each customer have? So for these, again, remember that aggregate operations work on multisets by default. And essentially, this would be an aggregate operation. So uh, we need the number of claims, right? So from the claim table, we can just get the number of licenses or in that table, and that would get me the number of claims that we have, and just give me the driver ID and the number of claims that we have. So basically this relational algebra query would get us the number of claims from the claim table for each, total number of claims for each customer, right? Because we are grouping by driver ID. Okay. So for when we are grouping by driver ID, would this query work if we had, instead of count license, we had count star? Would this query give me the same answer? So instead of count license, if I say count star, so count me the number of licenses that each customer has versus count me the number of rows for each driver ID. It would work, right? And it would be better because licenses, in terms of relational algebra, it is just going to be a set. Number of rows would actually be different, right? It would actually get me the number of claims, even if it is on the same license. If we want to include customers without any claims, we would have to say left outer join on customer, because we want customers that don't have claims, and basically group them by that. Um, mm, so if we want to, so let's see, let's give you an example. So let's say that uh, we want customers that have the maximum number of claims. So let's say that every customer has filed some claims and say that the maximum number of claims is 10. And we want to have the set of customers that have 10 claims. It might be one customer, it might be many customers, right? So in that situation, we might end up using a Cartesian product, right? A Cartesian product between my customers and their number of claims versus the maximum number of claims. Right? In that scenario, I can then compare, so which customer name has the maximum number of claims and get those rows, right? And remember that we cannot use aggregate functions in our select predicates. It has to be a separate uh, relation. And when I say predicates, I mean in the where clause. Right? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, so grouping and aggregate relations are written like this. On the left-hand side of your fancy G, you have the list of attributes with which you're grouping them by. On the right-hand side, you have the list of functions where you're performing those aggregate operations, sum, average, all of those things. Remember that aggregate functions are not named. So we can't say that this selecting all max operations can be written like this. They have to be given a separate name. So for that, we can rename those outputs as V1, as V2, and then we can say the V1 value for all of the select operations looks something like this. Okay. Aggregate examples. Oh, yes, this is the one that I was talking about. Yes. So find the claims with the largest amount, right? So claims are identified by driver ID, license, and date, right? So we can say that get me the max amount from my claim table by grouping by the primary keys, right? And now we can cross it with the, and cross means the Cartesian product, right? We cross it with the claims. So can you guys see what is going to, what it is going to look like? It is going to be the claims table crossed with itself, where it also has the maximum amount. And now for every row in my claims table that has an amount, I compare it with my maximum amount. If those two are the same, I can then select those rows out. And that is where your Cartesian products also come into use. Right? It is very rarely useful, but essentially for these sort of scenarios, for these sort of cases, we always need to use the Cartesian product, right? So essentially get me the amount that has the set of amounts that have the maximum amount, right? Or we can have a separate query for that as well. Okay, so speaking of separate queries, aggregate of aggregate operations. So find the customer with the most insurance claims. Now this is two separate queries, right? We need to identify that this is two separate queries. One is we need to generate the count of each customer's claims. So how many claims does each customer has? Then generate the maximum count from that thing. So these are two separate aggregate options, and then we need to select out the sub rows from there, right? So these are two separate queries, because find the customer with the most insurance claims first requires me that I count, which is one aggregate operation, then it requires that I find the maximum of those counts, right? So until and unless I find the counts, I cannot do a maximum, right? So in that situation, remember that in your SQL query, we can only do one level of aggregation, right? We need to have two separate queries, or a sub query or a view, for example, to generate the sub intermediate result first of the count, and then use that result to find the maximum, right? So essentially that is what we can do. So we can have a query that basically